We are live, so I'm going to pass it on to Jay, who is our moderator for this show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the comic, I was about to say Comic Frontline, Comic Uno's, Like Father, Like Daughter, Q&A sessions. We do these every time at Kickstarter. There's a little echo somewhere.
It's probably me. Or me? No. No, I hear it too. Oh, I think if someone's played their video. Is anyone played a video? Probably me. Or me? No.
No,
I think it might be on your side. If someone's played their video. Is anyone played a video?
Oh, hang on. There we go. How's that?
Hello. We're good now. Cool. All right, Jay, continue.
All right. Still there. But anyway, so we're doing this for the Like Father, Like Daughter trade paperback Kickstarter. So, Kat, I want you to do me a favor. Can you hear me?
What's a favor? Yeah, what's the favor?
All right. I want you to press number 18 on the elevator and give me that pitch.
All right, the elevator pitch. And it's funny because I just came home from a friend's party and people were asking me about the Kickstarter. Well, here's the elevator pitch. But it's about a high school girl. Father left her to become a full... Oh, I hear the echo again. All right, anyways, we're good. A full-time superhero. Everyone in the world loves him except for her. And then she inherits his abilities. So you got to find out what happens. That's the legit elevator pitch.
All right, cool. All right, now, what is the Kickstarter for?
Kickstarter is for the Like Father, Like Daughter trade. So that means you're getting issues 1 through 4 and some short stories. Sean, do you want to tell us what the short stories are, or are you keeping those a secret? Let's see if he's on. He's on mute right now. He just disappeared. I'll message him if he's still on mute. He might just be talking and we don't know it. Or he might be typing. Anyway, so we have short stories in there as well. Yeah, so that's what it's 100 pages to trade, and there's some really good stories in there. So
that was going to be one of my questions is what if say someone who's like me has this echo cat.
Still, we're going great. One thing I do want to say before I press mute, if you guys back up the Kickstarter, leave your name. That way I can check that you backed up the Kickstarter, what your Kickstarter name is, or back it up now, which would be great if you haven't backed it up. So you could be part of our contest by the end of the show. So by the end of the show, we will pick out your name. And what you get is a digital copy of West Coast Avengers, The Life of Captain Marvel, The Amazing Spider-Man. What else do you get? X-Men Gold. I get a lot of comics. Mystery of Imagipore. Let's see. Do I have any other Marvel books? That is it.
Did you raid your comic book collection? What's going on here, Kat?
No, that's my books for the week. That's the books for the week.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. You get digital codes from my pull list. The digital codes I have, you could get. So if you are a backer, please leave your name. Say I'm being part of the contest, and I'll put it on our list. Or you could back it up now, so you could be part of this contest.
Hi, I'm Wayne. I want to be on the list.
Wayne is not included. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on.
If I can't be included, which would be weird because they have these comics, you can't be included.
Yeah, but you got to read them already.
Not yet. I've read like one of them. Still.
I haven't read any of them yet, so that's why I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. I want to read that.
If no one enters the contest, which hopefully people do, I'll give them to you. But
oh, that's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
It was a good intro. That's all I wanted to say. So if there's no echo, I won't mute.
Yeah.
If there is, I'll mute.
There's very little echo, I think, now. But it was a lot louder earlier. But
okay.
Just a little thing, again, going into if someone's like me who's back, who has all 4 Kickstarter, all 4 issues of the book. What's an incentive for me to actually get this trade paperback too?
Like I said, there's short stories in it that some of them have not been released. One that we did promote is the indie superhero, female superhero story, which Casey teams up with, female superheroes from the indie community. So that's a lot of fun. You also have like the annual in there where Casey, Wes, and Steph go to the comic book store. So there's a lot of fun short stories and some about Invulnerable and Casey that I wrote for, conventions and promotion for previous Kickstarters. So a lot of good stuff in here, and it's all in one collection, which I think is cool.
Okay, so for anybody who follows Last Ember Press, I believe Ember is in that indie female book. So there goes a little crossover there. So Last Ember Press fans, if you like Ember from the Last Ember, she's in this. And if you like me and Comic Frontline, we're in it. Because my little image right there on the screen that Wayne drew that I love to death. I use it everywhere, Wayne.
As you can see,
everywhere.
You're welcome.
I use it everywhere. I love it.
I'm glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun drawing that with the little story too, man. They sent me all the pictures of your comic book store, and I tried to put as much in as I could.
I didn't know the cat was. I didn't know I was going to be like that big of a part. I thought it was going to just be like someone in the background. I didn't think I was going to have a speaking role. So I was like, I told Kat because she was like, guess who it is? Kat, there's an echo again.
And I'm also being shut down for the night. We're closing the light.
What?
Her people at her house are shutting off the lights and all.
Yeah, I'm in my kitchen in laundry room, and people are shutting the lights on me. Now they opened it up because they heard my big mouth.
You tell her you can't go to bed. You don't have to go to bed, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for like the light to come on and then Pennywise to be standing behind you.
Oh, there's a whole thing about her when she's in her outdoor room. People used to say that someone's behind her because there's like these two little lights behind her, like somewhere out in the backyard somewhere, and people think someone's watching her.
Yeah, it's creepy, but what can you do?
Yeah, it's fun. So tell us more about the Kickstarter. Like, what are some of the awards?
Some of the awards are, as I retweet some stuff too. Some of the awards are that you could get the comic, obviously the trade physically, which is my favorite award. You get it digitally. You could get an Invulnerable shirt. You could get the custom-made action figure of either Casey or Invulnerable. The unlimited action figure, indie unlimited action figure of Invulnerable, which looks really pretty, and that's the manufactured action figure. And also a chance to get your IP as part of the unlimited manufactured action figure line. So that's really cool. Also, if you are an aspiring writer, you could get meetings with me and Sean about your comics. So those are the big ones.
So there are also let me see. Some of the characters that are in this book are interesting. Can you run this down on who are the main characters in this book and why, what their relationship to Casey is?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what this whole book is about is the characters. So Casey's our main character. She is the daughter of Invulnerable, and she has a lot of conflict going on right now. She has these superpowers, and you could tell she's torn. She wants to use these superpowers, but doesn't want to be her dad. So that's kind of her struggle right now. And her friends are really cool. We got Wes, who is the walking superhero Wikipedia, we like to call him. And I see a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people love Wes and relate to Wes, like I said. And you also have Stephanie, who's my favorite character, who is Casey's best friend and levels Casey because she's the complete opposite of her, at least personality-wise. So they level each other. We're going to get some cool stuff with Stephanie coming up. And then Invulnerable, we have the superhero, the deadbeat dad who, might not exactly be a deadbeat dad. There might be reasons behind why he left. And that's something we're starting to dig with in that first trade.
All right, Wayne,
Yep.
can you tell everybody how you became associated with like father, like daughter?
Wow, that was so long ago.
Right? It's been a long time now.
Yeah.
2014, I think.
Actually, I was working with Sean on another project. I forget the name of it. And he was like, "Hey, Kat's looking for an artist for this book," and he gave me the script. I kind of liked it, and we just went from there.
Yeah, and then one thing I'll say, like especially throughout the, I don't know if we can mention it. We have to ask Sean if we can mention that. Once Sean comes on, and we can mention the the stretch goal. I don't know.
Came on and left. He was like, "Cat said when I come on, I'm like, let's do it."
No, we're not gonna say that.
We're going back at it real quick.
Definitely not. But where was I? Oh yeah, so Wayne and I, we've been working together a lot. The first issue we really didn't talk to each other, but now since I would say this second or third issue, probably more the third and fourth issue, we've talked a bit, like a little bit on Facebook, and then like, fifth issue, full collaboration. Like this is full collaboration. So it's really both our babies with issue 5. And you can kind of see that with the comedy because Wayne, he's got some good comedy, especially with his artwork. And I think there's more comedy in the script. And there's actually a scene changed because of Wayne. I could say that. We won't say the particular scene, but there's a scene where Wayne's like, I don't think Invulnerable would be able to do this. And then I thought about it, and you're like, you're right. So I went back and added more action into that scene, and it flows better, and I think it makes a lot more sense. So, and that's something Wayne actually suggested.
I think in my part, for me, I really relate to Invulnerable. I'm a father. I got kids. I got 2 daughters. So I can understand him more, I think, than I don't want to say Kat can, because she created him. Obviously, she
created him. I understand him.
Yeah,
I can't relate to him. I
can relate to him, and I could see him more like from a male point of view, what he would do and why. And I think for me, the most foreign character for me is always Casey, because for me, it's just some.
I was gonna leave for a second, but now I gotta hear. Pause that for a second because I want to hear about this. So give me a second, that way I come back.
Cat has to go away so this way the echo will go away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's because Cat doesn't want to admit it, but it's because she's on an Apple.
Hey,
just
I'm on an Apple.
Shh, don't support Apple. They're evil.
You're talking about the best thing ever. I'm a total. What are they called? What are they called? Hipsters. I'm a hipster. Fine, whatever. I love my Mac. I love my Mac.
Kat sent us a picture of her in a coffee shop using their internet with her aviator sunglasses on, her little knit cap on, drinking.
What did I miss now?
Oh, I said it's because you're on an Apple, that's why you had to leave. And he was like, I'm on an Apple. I was like, don't say that Apples are evil. And he said he's a hipster. I said, you're a hipster.
Yeah,
I can with my vinyl record player. I tend to be a hipster, but I think I'm so hipster. I'm not hipster. That's how I like to relate it.
I think it's what everybody thinks when they're hipster. Come on,
that's true.
I'm a hipster, but I'm not that much of a hipster.
I'm nothing compared to a hipster.
Well, I want to hear more about this on this Casey thing now. So
okay, back to
I try to get you out of that, Wayne. I try to.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind talking about this. No, what it is for me is that, I mean, I can relate to Invulnerable. He's my age. He's a father. He's trying to deal with a lot of things at the same time. I can relate to that. Casey is a teenage girl. Yeah, I'm a 47-year-old man. I have no idea what goes through a teenage girl's mind these days. So this issue, when we were talking, I was just like, why is Casey doing this? What are we doing here? Is Casey okay? Is she like this?
Casey is the main character.
I cannot. My hardest one I have a hard time getting to the mindset of is Casey, because for me, and it's not bad writing or anything. It's just me. I'm a 47-year-old guy, and I'm trying to draw what a teenage girl would do when she's talking to a friend. I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Just wait a couple of years and you'll find out.
Yeah.
When your daughter's a little bit older, you'll find out.
I think that's cool about the book, though, and I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards it, because you really, like, all of the characters are so different that I really find people having different favorite characters, or being able to relate to different characters. I've seen people be able to relate to Casey. I see people relate to Stephanie, to Wes especially, and to Invulnerable. And a lot of times, I've said this to, friends and stuff, when I go to conventions, there's a lot of guys that buy the book, and I'm always surprised by that. I always like go to girls and say, "Oh, would you like to read it?" It's always their dads. They're like, "Go pick up this book. It's really good. Let's read it together." But it's like, yeah. So yeah, Sean, when we were at Chicago, that happened a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, plus the fact that I'm a father myself, so I relate to it a lot, and I'm a father with some girls. So
oh yeah,
I definitely understand what it is. And how
Sean knows those looks.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's very relatable, and that's one of the things that was a draw to the book for me as well. So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what the book is. It's it's kind of what happens behind the scenes of the superhero stuff, which is kind of cool. Even though there's a lot of superhero action, there will be a lot more in the next arc, but it's definitely more about the characters and how they feel and what they're going through. So, Sean, now that you're on, are we allowed to talk about stretch goals or not? Are we keeping this hush-hush? All right, there we go. We can't talk about it.
We're not going to talk about any stretch goals until we break the barrier and get there. So just know the stretch goals are there, and if we can hit the goals, then we'll be talking about stretch goals.
Unlock those. Wait, I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned that it's hard for you to relate to her. One of the big things we get every single time Kat does has an issue come out, that you guys have an issue come out, is Casey's expressions. So how do you get those expressions if you can't relate? I mean, because like they're dead on. They're almost like the expressions Kat has.
Hey, wait. It's almost like you're angry a lot. So are you saying I'm an angry person?
You're angry at me all the time, yes.
All right. May only Jace gets to see that.
I get to see your angry face all the time.
No, I can relate to Casey's expressions because I do have 2 teenage sons and 2 daughters who are preteen. I see the expressions. Understanding the emotion behind them is the biggest challenge for me and every other dad out there. Trust me. I'm Sean. You got kids. I know you probably know what I'm saying, man.
Man, I got 5 kids. I definitely know what you're saying.
I got 4, so I'm like one behind you. And that's it. I don't mind coming in second place. I'm not Irish Catholic. I'm done. The factory's closed. The baker's retired. The stork has been shot and is dead. No more.
That was graphic.
No more.
We do have a question for Sean, though, from Legends. I have a question for Sean. Will the Ryder family one-shot be included in the trade? Trying to think of which one-shot he's talking about.
That's the Ryder family. That's the very first mini
comic.
Oh, the first Kickstarter.
The webcomic one?
Yeah.
On that one, here's the thing. It might be included if we can locate the files. See, when we first started publishing the books and using the Kickstarters, what we did with a lot of those mini comics is they were actually they were mini comics, and they were actually formatted as such. They weren't formatted to the point where they were standard comic book sizes because we weren't printing them from standard comic book sizes. So it's a matter of finding the files. If we can find the files and if they can transition over to the standard size of the files that we use, then yeah, it'll be included. But finding some of the older files has turned out to be a little harder than what we anticipated, for the simple fact that a lot of the original files were lettered by a guy named Palmer. His name was Palmer. I want to say Chill Palmer. I can't remember his first name, as weird as that is. But his name was Palmer, and Palmer died. Palmer died at the end of lettering issue number 2. So with his passing, it's been kind of hard trying to locate some of the original files. So.
Yeah, me and Sean have discussed this a lot because of other things we wanted to do, and it's been interesting. But what short stories can you tell us are definitely going to be in it?
Definitely the 1.5 issue is what I like to call it, which was done by DC Stulpner. It's the ending of issue number 1 going into issue number 2. Issue number 3.5, I believe it was, which Wayne did.
Yeah, that was I remember that one. That was like the half, like what is a vulnerable going through was Casey going through. I remember that one.
Yeah.
And then we also have the pages from the actual annual that'll be in there. I'm trying to think. It may be some other surprises in there. And then we got, of course, what you guys mentioned earlier when I was missing in action, but I was still around.
Listening.
The unreleased Indie Heroines Matter crossover that features a lot of characters from the indie community, female characters. So that'll be in there too. I mean, it's some fun stuff in the book. And like I said, the book is over 100 pages long. So I mean, we got tons of room, and it's not a cap on it. I mean, more stuff we find in by the time we actually approve the printing to start, the more stuff we'll put in there.
Yeah, so very good question. I think Jay had to leave for a second, so when he comes back, but we have some questions anyways. So Scotty says, what does it mean for anyone to be tagged by Kickstarter with Project We Love tag? And 2, how does it feel to be officially tagged by Kickstarter with the Project We Love tag? Well, it just means that Kickstarter like saw your project and they love it. So I think that's kind of it. But it's like a stamp of approval in a lot of ways. This is the first time like Follow Like Daughter has gotten it. I believe 1 or 2 projects have before for short views have gotten the Project We Love. But how does it feel? Good. Like it's cool that, you know, we worked hard and finally saw our recognition. So how about you guys? You guys excited about the Project We Love tag?
Yeah, definitely. What it actually also means is that Kickstarter gives a little more promotion for the project. People can find it through the actual Projects We Love tab. Because essentially there's just a lot of people on Kickstarter, and there's different avenues that they can go through to discover new products, and that's one of them.
Yeah, and I think it was. I got. Let's see. Is it back? Might be on your side, Sean. Let's see. Oh, it's gone now. We're good. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think also it was a little easier for us this year or this time is because it's under a graphic novel tag, and there are less graphic novels than comic book projects. Because I think with comics, you know, a lot of times they'll have issue 1 and they won't launch anything else after that. With a graphic novel, there's a lot more content and less people doing it. So I think that was really helpful as well that we were under that tag. So we also got a question from Paige, which I lost in the chat, but I'm going to get it on Facebook because it was a really good question. Let me see. And Paige is also one of our writers on Short Views. He writes Chess. Chess issue 1 is out. So let me know if you guys want any links or anything for that. We'll provide that. All right, let me see. Scrolling up. Hold on. I'm on. Hate Facebook sometimes. I wish the messenger was easier to control. All right. So the question was, okay, my question for your life feed is how do you relate to the live feed? How do you relate to the character in your comic book? How much do you base it off your real life, and does it reflect any of the types of relationships you have with your father, and what you think young ladies that does have a relationship problems with their parents could learn from your comic book? So Sean knows because he met my dad. I
think the moral of the story is you should always hang out with a comic book geek.
That's true. That is true. That is the moral of Like Follow Like Daughter. But yeah, I have a very good relationship with my dad. He got me into comics, and he supports everything I do. So I'm very appreciative of having both lovely parents that are supportive. And that part is definitely not related. And it's so funny when I go to comic conventions because it's curly hair. And Sean knows this. It wasn't originally curly hair, but we had to change it because her name was Casey. It fit another comic book character named Casey, so we had to change it. That way she looked a little different. So that's what we ended up doing. So a lot of times when they see it, they say, oh, like, is it based on you? I'm like, yeah, my dad totally left me to be a superhero. It's like, yeah, that's definitely a thing. But no, it's not based on me, but I'm sure there's characteristics from each character that comes from something. I would say the friendship between Stephanie and Casey is definitely similar to the friendship that I have with my best friend. I don't think any of us are Casey. I think we're both Stephanie, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so I'm sure it's some stuff are related, but nothing really hardcore that I could say it is. So Jay, we just answered Paige's question and Scotty's question.
All right. Wayne,
Yo,
did you mention what you are actually drawing there?
Right now I'm just doodling here a little Casey and Mr. Invulnerable here.
That's the first time I've seen Casey smile.
I think that's the first time anybody's seen Casey smile.
Yeah. Well, you know, she's here. I got most of her kind of fleshed in. I'm just kind of like, you know, getting some of her dad in here.
Your
and,
favorite.
you know, just kind of like, you know, she's like showing up dad, like, haha, I got muscles too, Pop.
Now, see, that's a question. Who's stronger? That's a competition they might need to have. I've never answered that. I've never answered that. You know, hey, Casey has more powers.
Look at this arm and look at her arm. This arm.
Don't underestimate Casey.
I'm not underestimating her.
That's like, now I'm going to make her super strong.
No, I don't think she... I don't know. Honestly, I've never thought about it. So now I have to, as a writer, think about who actually is stronger. Probably will be
I would honestly say Invulnerable.
Yeah, it probably is Invulnerable.
First generation powers. She's second generation.
But who's faster?
Definitely Casey. I would say Casey is faster. And then she has the extra power. If you read issue 2, she has another power. So check that out. Yeah.
Like, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's been a while ago that was released. Issue 2, we find out she has visions. So we'll see a little bit. Well, yeah, we're actually going to see a lot more of it next issue, which Wayne has done a really great page for that. So I'm really excited about it. And it's more of this empathic vision. So it's more of like if she has a connection with somebody or like touches somebody or it's random. Kind of like I kind of played it off of like Cordelia from Angel, similar to that. So yeah, she gets visions, and you have to learn more about that, but we'll see more of it. But that was it.
Which is kind of, I just want to put this out there. This is really kind of weird, because let's just answer Legend Storm's one question first, because then I can piggyback off of that with my comment that I want to make. Let's Storm asks us, how long have you been working on Like Father, Like Daughter?
Oh man, since like 2014, I think. It's like I think that was our first Kickstarter, and it was like this summer, like that August or something, maybe before that. I don't know. It's been a really long time. It's been maybe like 4 to 5 years.
And before that, it was a year before that, because Kat wrote it, which is the second question he asked us, is where did the inspiration for Like Father, Like Daughter come from?
Yeah, I wrote a screenplay for it in class, and at the time, the New 52 was going on. Mary Jane, Peter, they weren't together. Nobody was really together. And family wasn't really at the forefront. And I wanted to show that in a story. And I thought it was a new twist on obviously a genre we've seen everything from.
All right. So now this is my little comment I wanted to make.
Hey, real quick, Jay.
Yes.
Hold on. The first Kickstarter for Like Father, Like Daughter was in November of 2000, and I'm pulling up the info right now for you.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, I believe it was 14. The project was funded. It was funded in November of 2014. So we probably worked on it about, I'll say a couple of months.
Yeah,
it was probably that summer. It's probably August when you started working, collaborating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, probably about August.
Before that, maybe even before that, but I think it was August.
Yeah.
I can look back at my emails.
The project was launched in October 5th, 2014, so we had to work on it a little bit before that. We did a couple pages, and then we finished, and it was all delivered by January.
Yeah. So
no, that was actually took us a while. We actually delivered it in March.
oh, that makes sense. I feel like it was around March.
Yeah, we delivered the digital versions in March, and then comics actually went out in April and May. So yeah, we came a long way from releasing projects.
For sure.
Doing the Kickstarter and taking 6 to 7 months to deliver.
And we've been getting one thing I have to say. Thank you for everyone who backed. Usually from the past Kickstarters with Life by Like Daughter, we got maybe like 110 at most, and we always refunded because everyone's very generous. But we're like at 100 almost, and it's only been like 5 days, which is crazy. So thank you guys. It shows how much the series has grown.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something because this is a little ironic thing that just hit me actually now while you were saying about Casey's Extra Power Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Cat's favorite character in comic books is Mayday Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a new sort of pseudo Mayday Parker out there called Annie Mae. Who has the same powers as her father.
Yeah, it's this
extra
weird
power is she has visions.
That's true. They stole it from me.
I just realized that just tonight during the show that it's very weird because your character came out years before Annie Mae did, and the power is the same thing. She has the extra power, and the extra power is visions.
Telling you, they read the book. Cool. They read the book and they stole it.
This is really cool. It's just a really cool little Easter egg for like Follow Thy Daughter fans and cat fans. She predicted the future of her pseudo favorite character because Annie Mae is an offshoot of Mayday.
Branch of Mayday. That's cool though. What's our next questions?
This guy says, "What does it mean for anyone to be tagged by Kickstarter with?"
We already answered that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, did you answer Robert Ears?
Nope. We weren't up that.
How many volumes are you planning to make for like Follow Thy Daughter?
It's an ongoing. So as far as Sean will let me go.
I could have sworn in Chicago I had to talk you into letting it go. But
no, there's something that happened in Chicago. We had a conversation about something that happens in the book that both of you and Wade are upset about, and I'm saying it's happening.
Yeah. Is it the thing that I already know about?
Yeah, you know about it. I will say, I remember the conversation we had is that with this thing, and I could say this because it doesn't spoil anything, we could call something, we could maybe like relaunch the series because it's like, it really changes the story. So that was something me and Sean were talking about, maybe like relaunching it into something else. But it's still gonna be called like Follow Thy Daughter. For us, it wouldn't make sense because we built a brand through this. So it's just like, why? We're not Marvel. We're not gonna relaunch it. But that's a conversation I did have with Sean at Chicago. So
it's technically going to be one volume, but with trade paperbacks for each arc. That's
and there's a lot. I'm on issue 11 right now writing it. So yeah, don't worry. There's there's a lot to come.
Are your arcs all going to be about 4 issues, or you have any shorter or longer arcs planned out that,
My arcs are always longer, but that's up to Sean how he wants to collect it and trade. My creator arcs are longer, but for this, it made sense for us to end it at issue 4, and then issue 8 would be the end in my mind of the first arc because that was like the end of the story from the screenplay. And I think the second arc I'm working on now, or third arc, that seems like it's going to be a longer one too.
Long story short, Kat just likes to confuse the readers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my arc is
my arc, Sean's arc, your arc.
4 issues. So I would just say, they'd probably be around 4 issues, 3 to 4 issues. Just depends on how much extra content we put in it. Because the goal for the trades for us, specifically as a company, is to make sure that the people who may have been on the fence, because you got to realize this is indie comics. And with indie comics, a big concern is always, is there going to be another issue? So for the people that may have been on the fence and didn't get the single issues, well, here's a chance to catch up in one swoop with a bunch of extra content for around the same price as you get in the single issues. And that's pretty much what the purpose is just to get those people off of the fence. And maybe they'll jump in on the next arc, the arcs, not Kat's arc,
The real arcs.
The actual printing arcs, and they can jump in and become fans. So that's pretty much what it is. So roughly around 3 to 4 issues is what we're looking at. Some books are short fuse will be 3 issues, some will be 4, but I would like to keep them around 4 issues.
Yeah, and I know one I'm planning. So after issue 8 is a one shot, so I think that's gonna be interesting to see where we're gonna place that. Issue 9 is like an offshoot issue, which is probably my favorite issue I've written. So I think only Wayne and Jay has seen it. Sean should see it, but it's so far in advance. I don't want to. No, but it's so far in advance that it wouldn't make sense to do it. I only did it for Wayne because like there's a short story I wrote that we were possibly going to use something with Ramel that referenced that, and I needed a look for somebody. So I'm like, read this so you can understand this character's look. So that's the only reason I showed it to Wayne, and Jay, I just let him read everything because I needed.
Because Jay just gets to read everything. That's
yeah. Hey, I think you read everything too.
That's why I'm Skynet. That's why I earned the name Skynet.
I would make Sean read everything, but then I think he'll just tell me, why are you so far ahead? Let's focus on issue 5.
I mean, to be honest, I prefer reading it when it's actually drawn. That's just me. I've actually had a lot of dialogue about that, and as we've grown, it's been hard for me to keep up with reading scripts. I'm like, send me the completed book, and then I'll go over it. So
that's why I feel like it's better, like when we're working on an issue, to send it to Sean than just like, here's issue 12. We won't be here for a while, but here it is anyways.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but so there's a one shot as issue 9, so we'll see how we collect that. That was kind of the point of that tangent.
Pat, you mentioned something I want to ask Sean about.
Yeah.
Kat just mentioned the little shorts that her and Wayne were working on, the online webcomics. Any plans on releasing them in the collected form anytime down the line?
The webcomics we did for the webtoons?
Yeah.
Again, that'd be up to Sean. That's something me and Wayne, I asked Sean, like, can we do it? And he's like, yeah, for fun, just to like do it, you can, but like it probably wouldn't be made into anything. But I don't know. Again, I guess it's more of a question for Sean.
I mean, I would say anything's possible. It's just, as long as we could format it, I would think it's something that we could potentially look at including. I mean, be honest, it could end up in this trade. Who knows?
I will send it along then.
Yeah, right.
It
is formatted really cool. As a regular comic. I just had to break each panel off into like a single panel so you could read it because.
Well, you did the regular pages, so that should be okay because you did the pages and then you split it. I would say 2 stories that I feel really fit. We haven't finished the Halloween one yet, but 2 that I feel like really fits obviously is the intro of these characters. We did a Q&A pretending like they're on a movie set, and they answered like, what's their favorite movie? And you really get to learn about the characters a lot in that one, and the sleepover, which I really think you get the most personality from Wes, Stephanie, and Casey in that story. So those could be 2 fun ones to add. We'll talk.
I'll say that it sounds more like it's up to Kat and Wayne than being up to me.
I love that interview one, actually. I really did. I loved that one. It was so funny. We had a lot of funny, and I think that's really where me and Kat really got comfortable communicating.
Yeah, for sure.
During the webcomic, because it was always, every page was back and forth. This, that, she says this, they do that. So I think that's where the communication really got good for us.
And we both wrote those stories. It wasn't just me doing the dialogue for that one, so that's why as well. Like we both plotted and wrote those stories. So I think that's why we got so comfortable with each other. And there was stuff I told Wayne, I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. Nope. And then same thing for Wayne's like, would they do that? I don't know.
there's a lot of stuff I was doing just for me and Kat's fun.
Yeah.
I was just putting in words and things that had like nothing to do with the story at all, just for giggles between me and her, just so she'd get a laugh out of it. And who knows, you get an idea out of something out of nowhere sometimes. And
I mean, like, Skipper.
Oh, let's do this though. That's funny, but we can't do that. But hey, we can throw this in, and that's cool. I'm like, I like that. That's cool. We'll do that, and we worked around it. And that's where a lot of the webcomic stuff really came from. I'd come up with an idea, Katie get. Hang on, I'm on. No. I'm sorry, my daughter just walked in. But I get an idea, she get an idea, she throw it at me, I throw it back and forth. And I think that's one of the reasons why the comic book for me is so much more entertaining, so much more interesting. I just can't wait to pick it up and keep going with it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I will say with the webcomics, if you go back, there's a lot of teases of where we're going with this story with the webcomic. Jay picked up on one. So you did that? Well, yeah, I did that. So if you read it, I'll say this. There's a huge spoiler in our teaser of the like father like daughter Beatles teaser, like our image for that. There's actually a huge thing in there. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't say more, but there's a huge thing in the Beatles one. And of course, I want to add Beatles because why not? I actually talked to Sean about a future Beatles thing. We'll see if I actually end up writing it. But anyways.
Don't feed into her Beatles love. Don't.
I can't say the idea. I'll say it off air, but someone I've been
don't feed into her Beatles love.
Someone I've been playing around with. Oh, actually, I don't think I told Sean that it was about the Beatles. I'll tell you after, but I asked Sean a question that related to it.
Everybody's getting a little insight into how Kat's brain works.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's weird.
Okay, so Kat, I want to ask each and every person this. Who is your favorite personality out of the 4 main characters? Who has your favorite personality?
I always will say Stephanie. I love Stephanie so much. I also love Wes's personality. I love how complicated Casey's personality it is. I think she's a really complicated character. But yeah, I would say Stephanie. Wes comes in a close second.
How about you, Wayne?
Definitely Invulnerable, but definitely Wes out of the 3 is my favorite. He knows all the comic stuff. I don't even know half the comic stuff.
That's Catherine knowing all the comic book stuff.
Yeah, but Wes is like off the top of his head. Yeah. Like if there was a superhero comic book Jeopardy, he'd win. He'd be Grandmaster.
I love my boy Wes.
Yeah, he's the boy. He's the fanboy. Definition of a fanboy.
And one thing I love about Wes, though, and I think this is a very realistic thing, how close he became with Stephanie and Casey so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
There's friendships that happen that way. It's just like you connect, and one night you're just like, whoa, this is crazy.
I think that's the one thing about Wes. He's really adaptable. If you read some of these stories with Wes, he's just like, okay. You know, he really doesn't need a lot of motivation sometimes. It's just like, nope, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think he is definitely a Stan Lee love child. Do the right thing. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think he thinks his comic book web knowledge leads him into that superhero genre.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's interesting too, because Stephanie and Casey have been friends for so long, and just him be able to do that is, I think, a special thing to be like just so quickly the trio. And I think it works. It's one of my favorite parts of the comic.
Sean, who's your favorite character personality?
Oh, Invulnerable all day, every day. Invulnerable. That is my guy. I can relate to him more so than anybody.
I can too. I think. Hey, Sean, how about we do a spin-off of Invulnerable?
Hey, Wayne has been trying to pitch me that for a long time, but
I have.
You got a lot of time that you can make up for. I mean, between the time when he left Casey to the time where Casey gets her powers in that first issue, there's a lot of story to tell there.
There is, and I know some of it.
Are there any attempts for him to maybe think maybe I'll just pop in on her birthday and then chicken out the last minute?
Hey, you never know. It's a good idea. What were you gonna say, Sean?
I mean, if you pay attention to what's going on at the rest of Short Fuse, you'd see that Invulnerable pops up in other places because he's not always with Casey. And that's one of the things that me and Kat had to get on the same accord with, because he has to be doing something somewhere, and he's not doing a lot within the pages of Like Father, Like Daughter. He mopes a lot, but at some point he has to keep that reputation of him being the superhero going. Now it doesn't necessarily have to affect the story of Like Father, Like Daughter, but I mean, you can see Invulnerable popping up other places.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's where you're gonna see it. We'll see if Wayne is correct, if I'll do anything, or I gotta write more Like Father, Like Daughter before I touch with Invulnerable. But you guys want it, might happen. We'll see.
Yes, I want it. I want to draw it. I love the big guy.
And the way that they can show that they want it is by backing the Kickstarters and supporting the book.
Maybe we'll start out with some short stories, which we already have. Maybe we'll do like a little one shot. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, another short story I mentioned earlier is Off Day is in there.
Yeah.
Right, Off Day is in there. So
which Sean wrote.
Because I'm obsessed with Invulnerable,
Yeah.
character.
I had to go for Wes. I mean, normally I would go for a guy like Invulnerable who's just doing the good thing for the good reason, just because it's the right thing to do. But Wes is, I don't know. Kat did not model him after me, but I feel so connected to him. And Wayne knew nothing about me before I talked to him. In the bedroom, it's like my freaking bedroom when I was a kid. When I was a teenager, that was my bedroom. I'm like, I had that Enterprise, I had that model.
You too, huh?
I was like, that's my bedroom.
You know what's so funny? Oh, go on. Sorry, yeah.
No, it's like I told you that was my bedroom. He drew my bedroom. Like, did he sneak into my bedroom, my teenage bedroom? Because at my mom's house, it still looks the same as when we lived there. So it's like that's my bedroom as a kid, and I just loved it. I was geeking out about how much he's a geek.
Oh yeah, Wes is fun. Invulnerable, I'm always like shocked how many people like him because like I paint him as this villain in the beginning, but that shows. Like I'm glad that people are seeing that he's not a villain. He's just kind of complicated. What was I gonna say? Funny.
Like, some of the best villains are like that. Like Magneto and Doom, and they're just so complicated in that, but they're so awesome because you can relate to a little bit of them and still be like, okay, wow. So I think that's something I really kind of like about Invulnerable too. He comes off as the bad guy, but you can relate to him. You can understand it.
That you see him as the hero as well, just like the rest of the world. One thing I found out with the webcomic, something I did not know, people ship Wes and Casey. That's something I've learned, which is interesting. I see it, but
I got news for you. When we first started the series, my first thought was Steph and Wes. I really did.
Steph and Wes?
Yeah,
I would say that was the plan. That was the plan originally. I could say that, but it's not going to go that direction. I was going to
say that because I remember our first talk with you when he was like that someone said something about them going together. You said
most people want to see that too. It's always between those two. I see more Casey and Wes now. I will say Stephanie and Wes. Stephanie and Wes are not going to happen. But we will see a romantic love interest for Stephanie soon.
You just broke so many people's hearts. And
I
know.
Just plain love.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But it's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. But, I guess you can have hope for Casey and Wes. But Stephanie's found somebody else. That's all I'll say.
Hey, things happen. Things happen. Wes could get in there. You never know.
We'll see. Right now, it's not happening.
He's like, don't crush my dreams.
Stephanie and Wes shippers.
Here's the thing. What would our ship names be? If it was Stephanie and Wes, or if it was Wes and Casey?
Wes and Casey and Wasey? I don't know.
You never know. It could work. Look at Angelina Jolie and Brett. Oh, wait a minute. Forget about that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It broke people's hearts.
It used to work.
It worked for a while. We'll see, guys. If you guys, there's definitely more romance to come, which is fun because it's a high school book. But there's not a lot of it in these next couple of issues because there's just a lot of drama, a lot of twists. I keep telling you, next issue has big twists. I'm so excited for you guys to read it. That's all I can say, though. But read it.
All right.
I think issue 5, the next one after this, is really going to blow a lot of people away. The story is awesome, and I think you get to learn something that we've kind of known for a while and haven't been able to hit on yet.
Oh yeah, we've known this for a very long time. Yeah. So we personally have known this for a very long time, but you guys
I think
haven't.
For a lot of you fans out there, you're going to get like a whoa, what just happened?
I hope it. That's the reaction. I really hope you drop that comment. You're like,
Yeah.
Well, talk about future issues. Jesse, JLS Comics says, so how many issues do you have the plot plan?
The plot planned. So again, from issue 8, it's pretty much done. There might be tweaks here and there once we actually work on it, like artwork wise, but it's the plot and pretty much the whole story is done. Issue 9, like I said, that's the one-shot issue, which is really cool. Which I'll say is Stephanie centric. And then I finished 10 completely. Right now I'm working on 11, so I'm working out the arc for next the next arc. I know what beats I want to hit in the outline, but now I'm like trying to figure out what issues they're gonna hit in. So that's kind of the story. I actually have the next arc after that plan too, where I'm gonna go with it. So a lot.
So Kat, going off of that, how when you plot, like how do you plot? It's like when I plot something, I like to break it down into like 4 acts, maybe, you know, like, or so like how do you break that down in your head?
In my head, on paper, because I have to write in a notebook. I write down, this is the outline for issue 5, let's say, and I'll write down like maybe 4 or 5 bullet points of what things I want to hit. You know, what stories I really want to hit, and then I'll be able to flesh it out and be like, all right, maybe what is the dialogue here? Just kind of figure out the voices. And it's mostly just like, you know, it's not actually going to be the dialogue, but it's stuff just to like see how long it's going to be and where the scene's going. So that's usually what I end up doing, is just outlining it in a notebook, seeing what scenes I want to write and how much can fit in the issue, and then start dialogue writing, and then working stuff around.
All right, cool. So, let's see. Scotty says, question for Wayne. Recently, I listened to you talk about the West and the Vulnerable. Wait, that just scrolls because of Cat.
I'm sorry.
Kind of like a before and after. Reminded me of Shazam. Can you elaborate on that comparison a little?
I don't know about that comparison. I think what I see here in Invulnerable and West is just like an older and younger, but of a different kind of generation. Like Invulnerable, I don't know if he's a big comic book guy. We never really divulged that, which, you know, solo issue might like answer. But I definitely see West as the same moral character of a hero, like Invulnerable is when he's a hero.
Yeah. I mean, I think Casey has that too, though. I think Casey has the moral aspect of it. That's the only reason she's like doing this. It's just that she doesn't like the title superhero, and that's what she's fighting against. It's not really the acts of being a superhero; it's the actual like being a superhero that she doesn't like.
And this is like where I collaborate with her, because like for me, whenever I see her acting that way, I'm like, is this just being emotional, or is there a reason behind it? And then she kind of helps me get an idea of what Casey's going through with this, because I'm just like, you know, I'm like Spider-Man. You got a power, you got to do it. It doesn't matter. Who cares? So when I read some of this stuff, I'm like, I don't get it. Why is she acting this way? Is it just an emotional thing? Is it a teenage thing?
She's a millennial. That's why she's acting like that.
Oh, I mean, don't start. They are millennials, though.
I think she's acting the way, at least, and again, we got another backer. Thank you so much. We're 1 backer away from 100. So, yeah, let me see who backed it, if I could get their name.
It was Luke.
Oh, it's Luke. Oh, thank you, Luke. He asked for last time he got no reward either. It's like, where's my reward? It's like, but you put no reward. He's like, that's okay. But that was very nice of him. Thank you, Luke. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you. I appreciate that. You're 99. So 1 more to 100. Someone in the comments.
Luke has actually been in the book.
He has been in the book. He has his own action figure as well. That's my best friend. That's my Stephanie if I was Casey. Or again, I feel like more like Stephanie a lot of times. So maybe
I see a lot of Casey in you.
I know.
You're always paying at me.
I know, right? I know. Where were we up to besides that? What were we talking about? Oh, right, Casey. Yeah, Casey, hero. What about Casey were we talking about? Whatever, I lost it. Sorry, my words of wisdom are gone. got too
It's
excited.
about why Casey is the way she is. Why does she act the way she does? Like, why isn't she?
Oh, right. Okay, now I got it. Okay,
chip on her shoulder.
I mean, her dad left her, and I think we really have to deal with those emotions. Like, I mean, obviously my dad didn't leave my family, but I feel like I wanted to show as realistically as possible what that would be like. You know, how in the core she's affected. Her, psychologically she's been affected. So that's really her story. Is that and. She might have anger issues, just a tad bit, just a little bit. That's okay. I think that I love characters that are flawed, and that's what we get to see with Casey. But there's, hopefully moments where you're like, oh, I see why she's doing this.
Hey, we just hit 100.
Did we? Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh man, let's see who that person was. Luke number 2. Let's see. Thank you guys during the show. Jason, well, if there's any Jason in the comments, please let me know who backed up so I can put your name so you can get some free Marvel books. Thank you guys. It's amazing. And we're like $420 away from Jason Crace. Thank you so much. $400 away from making our goal. So hopefully we can do that. So thank you guys. That's crazy.
The real Manos has a question.
Oh, I like this.
He says it's for a cat. So
we're gonna make it for everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it for everyone because I think it's a question that anyone can answer. Do you have a character in Like Father, Like Daughter that surprised you?
Yeah, I do. So you want me to go first? I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
All right. Character that surprised me. I'm surprised how many people love Invulnerable. That I'm surprised by. I was afraid that people wouldn't like him, but people like Invulnerable more than Casey half the time. Character that I was really surprised by was Stephanie, for sure. Because Stephanie at first was just like, she's the best friend, and that's it. Like, she's kind of this token best friend. And I really figured out her personality in the recent years and just writing her. I just love her character. I love how supportive she is. We get to learn a lot about her as an individual too. Like, she's a musician and she also has this moral compass, which is really interesting. Her dad's a cop, so it's like just like a lot of the other superheroes we've seen, like Barbara Gordon. It's very Barbara Gordon story, where she wants to be a cop, but her dad doesn't want her to be because he is a cop, and I'll reveal this. It's not like a huge story point, but someone will see. After the next arc, her dad is paralyzed from the job, so he's very protective of his daughter. So we're gonna see a lot of that with Stephanie. That's why she wants to be so helpful with Casey, because she kind of has these heroic instincts too that her dad doesn't want her to be a part of. So Stephanie's really cool, and she surprised me. I don't know if you guys knew about that. I think that I'm revealing that for the first time about Stephanie. So that was the one who surprised me. How about you, Sean? Who surprised you?
Invulnerable. Every answer that I have is going to be revolving around Invulnerable. Just so we all clear on that one.
What character do you hate the most, Sean?
Hate the most?
No, it was just a joke. Every answer is going to be invulnerable.
The old lady from
from
issue number 4. I have a thing about old ladies telling me what to do and treat me like a child. So I'm grown. Damn it, I got kids. Damn it, I don't. Old ladies just telling grown people. I just, she told them, take your glasses off and stop hiding behind people. I said, no cat did not write this lady. I know that lady.
That's the one that I hate.
That is that lady.
I remember her.
It is that old lady.
I'm that old lady?
Yes. I keep telling you, you're a grandmom. That's a 20-year-old. Cat's a 95-year-old lady.
She's the character I relate to, right? Yeah. Oh man, that's a good answer though.
An old lady.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about the old lady, I wanted to do like the Ma Kent / Aunt May type character, except that she's a bitch. So that's the old lady character. That's cool. That was a good answer, Sean. I like that. You missed my whole Stephanie message, Jay. Ugh.
I listened to it all. I can't mention mine though, because mine is some something that happened that hasn't happened yet. So.
Oh, you gotta write it in the chat. Maybe I could tease to it. You gotta write it. I want to know. All right. Well, Wayne, I was gonna call you Wes. Maybe you are Wes, Wayne.
Oh my god. I wish.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Character that surprised me the most. Vulnerable. I don't know if he surprised me. I kind of imagined that from the first script I read. Him always being that way. I'd say, actually, I'm going to throw you guys a curveball. I'd say the one character that really surprised me is Casey and the way she's growing as a character in this story. It's like every issue always surprises me because I always anticipate her going one way and Kat always seems to have her going in a different direction. I'm always like, wow. So how do I draw that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Casey. I think that I've heard a lot about. I heard a lot of people say that. Like in the first issue, she's like, "Oh, I don't like Casey," and then Jeremy, who's a big supporter, he said that. I love everyone but Casey. I'm like, that's somewhat of the point is that you want her to grow. It's kind of like the Cordelia or Buffy. I know I keep relating that, but like Folly Daughter has a similar, structure. It's like you see one side of a character, and the point is to see them grow into something else. So this is her starting point. It doesn't mean that's her ending point. And Casey's just like any teenager is discovering herself, but damn, she has superpowers too. That again is the very reason her dad left. So she's got to figure that out. And she doesn't want to be a supervillain, She doesn't want to do that. And she's finding out, especially with people that surround her, like Stephanie, like she has a moral compass that do something with these powers. I don't want to push you, but you should do something. And obviously Wes is the same way. So she's like, oh, I should do something. I have this responsibility in my head, but I don't want to be like Spider-Man. Like I don't want to actually do it. So it's that story of finding herself, of what to do with these powers.
Here's a question that I want to ask, but Kat's going to say, ask it to Sean, and then Sean will probably say, well, it's up to Kat, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Will the trade come with all the variants in the back, like all the covers? Like some trades, they'll show you, all right, here's all the covers from the issues. You got the regular covers, the variant covers, all that stuff. Will this one have it?
I'm going to pass this on to Sean.
I'm going to say at the moment, no comment.
Okay.
This is going to be a 200-page book by the end. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I mean, we know that the reason that we titled it 100+ page is because we don't actually know how many pages we're going to have in it. We know how many pages were in each story. We know how many extra stories we have, but we still have a lot of additional content that we could put into the book. One thing I will say is I'm not a big fan of like pinups and stuff like that in the backs of books. I like if the book is going to be a fat book that somebody holds in their hand, I want it to be story. I've never,
with that too. I agree with
because
that.
nothing about Short Fuse focuses on random artwork. We really like to give people value, and the reality of it is the variant covers have a level of exclusivity. So we want people to keep that exclusivity. So whereas if you had the exclusive covers, then you have them. And I don't necessarily want to put them somewhere else. So who knows? But there could be no comment for now.
Here's a little question though off of that. Can someone get one of those variant covers on the website or somewhere, can they only get the standard cover?
I will answer that, and Sean could correct me, but at least for me, we try to keep that as exclusive as possible, and we don't try to print more of them. So,
all right, just want to clarify that too, because I'm sure someone might ask that.
So that's the point of these variants, at least in my opinion. But
one thing to factor in, though, we haven't released the image of it, but this campaign is the first time that we're offering a variant cover for issue number 1, and I can say who the artist is, and it's a pretty nice variant cover that's being worked on. The artist is Zach Dolan from the Super series.
Wow, I didn't even know that, and I love the Super series has some good artwork.
Yeah, Zach Dolan, Lori Foster, the whole team at Unlikely Heroes came aboard to do the variant cover for issue number 1, because we felt one of the things that we do like to do with the variant covers is offer them at conventions. So if the best place to look for getting variant covers if you miss out on a Kickstarter will potentially be conventions, because whatever we have left over from the short and very short print runs that we do, we'll make available at conventions, but we don't put them on the website at all. The website is just for cover A's. So again, I'll be debuting it soon, but the cover for the variant cover for issue number 1 is going to be the first time being available during this campaign. So make sure you read those reward tiers, because you never see what kind of goodies is in there if you don't read the details. So
yeah, so the variants are actually very rare. So if you want to back up that portion, please do.
Yeah,
and also I will say,
issue 4, I believe. I have the issue 4 variant.
Do you have the real life, or do you have the Casey and Invulnerable one?
That's why I'm trying to grab my copy right now. So
because I was actually going to say the real life one, which was done by like a DCTV.
Casey and Invulnerable.
Yeah, the Casey
so where she's blowing the bubble.
That's a fun one.
Oh yeah.
The other variant from that issue actually is the inspiration for this trade cover. So that's something we could say. So the variants are cool. You never know what's going to happen with them.
Yep.
Well, and I'll say we'll go on for like another 20 minutes to like 20 minutes, I'll say.
All right.
I have a question for you, Kat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little promotional tie-in to Kickstarter. I mean, for a Facebook event. Can you
thank you for reminding me of that. So Sean actually, I think will explain it better. So you want to talk a little bit about the Facebook event contest, which I'll actually get the link for our chat members.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pull it up so I can just read it direct, because I'm horrible at trying to paraphrase things. So there is a contest on the Facebook page that Kat is, I guess, getting the link for.
Yep.
Where basically we ran a contest during our last Kickstarter for bringing alignment to the Indieverse, where what we did was if you followed the contest entry details, grand prize winner received a copy of every single comic that we've published at Short Fuse Media Group. To be clear, that's over 50 issues. So the winner, which was Molly Simpson of the last campaign, or the last contest, won 50 copies of all of our comics. So contest entries is kind of simple. The entry details are kind of simple. All you have to do is register on the Facebook page of the event Facebook page as going. You got to pledge to the campaign a minimum of $10, which that's the smallest campaign reward level, is just get you the digital copy. Share that you pledged on your own personal Facebook page. You leave a comment on the actual campaign. The comment could be whatever you want. And then on the thread in the event page, because this is where I go to find who all participated, you just leave the comment all in the thread on the event page. So if Kat, I think she put the link up.
I put it in the chat because I couldn't put it in our chat. So Jay is better at doing that. So Jay, if you could get that link to them. If not, I'll have it on my Comic Uno Twitter right after this show. So you could look there. And Comic Uno Facebook. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have it somewhere. So please check that out. For some reason, it didn't copy into the.
Sometimes it doesn't let Kat do it, but it lets me do it.
So. Yeah, so hopefully Jay could post it there. So yeah, it's a really cool contest. So definitely go check that out.
And we do have runner-up prizes at the contest, but I mean, again, the biggest thing is, again, grand prize. You're getting over 50 comics. So if you pledge $10, you can end up getting 50 comics, and these are awesome comics from a bunch of creators. A couple cameos from Invulnerable too. Got to throw that in there. Beyond that, though, it's just a really good contest. We have a lot of fun, and we do a live drawing. Maybe I have Kat do the live drawing this time.
I wouldn't mind.
And then, you can enjoy getting a big, huge package from us.
Yeah, and we always deliver, as Sean will say. As we all
post
say.
that link in the comments, in the chat. So,
and
Kat will put it in the. I'll remind Kat to put it in the description post live.
I will, for sure. And once again, if you did back up the project, or you're going to back up the project, please leave your name in the chat. So far, we have Justin and Scotty. So you could get some free digital codes for Marvel books. There's about like 6 of them that came out this week. So if you haven't gone to the comic book store, you don't even have to go. Then you'll have those digital comics. So please do that. And if you haven't backed it up, go back it up. I'll get the Kickstarter link. We're at 100 backers, which is crazy. I think we got like 10 backers today. So that was really good.
Yay! Yay!
No.
Yeah.
We're getting there. And then Sean could finally reveal, and I just put an art chat, Sean could finally reveal what those stretch goals are. Come on. Don't you want that? And I couldn't even do the link.
No, they don't
want
want that.
chance.
They don't want that. You don't want that, so it can all come to me.
Oh, man.
No? Oh, okay.
You don't? No, you already lost that. Justin and Scotty already left their names on that. But they do want the stretch goals. That is something they want.
Yeah, I want the stretch goals.
Yes.
I don't know what all of them are.
No,
Right.
I only know
John
one.
is like James Bond is like, you know this much, you know that much. Nobody knows everything.
Hey, well, I figure this. You guys know about the comic. I know about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I know what gets released.
We don't know everything.
No, not at
I
all.
don't share stuff because, Jay knows too much. Jay
Jay
knows
will find
It's
out.
all Jay's fault.
I have to play a couple things close to the chest. So.
He does. But when he reveals it, it's always a good surprise. Like, I didn't know what who was doing a variant cover, and see my reaction is a nice surprise. So it's good stuff. And with my scripts, I surprised Sean. So he knows the big reveals. That's all that matters.
I can give a hint to the first stretch goal.
Okay, do it.
Okay, so the hint to the first stretch goal, Kat might pick up on this, so I got to watch how I word this one. It's kind of a passing of the torch.
I'll think about that.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. That's good stuff. But yeah, I hope we make all the stretch goals. That'd be cool. Again, this has been a very successful Kickstarter so far, so we're excited about it. Yeah. So any other questions, Jeff?
Yes. Sky says, so unfortunately, so many people have comic ideas, but they end up dying on the cutting room floor. Why do you think Like Father Like Daughter has resonated with so many people, and what is the secret to its resilience?
I think the secret is Sean. But yeah, I think it resonates with so many people because look at this panel. We have 4 people on here, and we all have different reasons why we like the book. I think there's just so many layers to it that any individual could find something they like, unless you hate superheroes. But I feel like even if you hate superheroes, you might like this because it's not really like it is a superhero book, but it's not. So I think it's a perfect way to jump into comics if you've ever read a comic in your life. It's a really good jumping on point. So go check out the trade. So yeah, I think that's why it resonates is that all 4 main characters have such different personalities that you'll find a favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. I mean, I think they all have something. All the characters have something somebody can relate to, whether it's Wes, Casey, Steph, Invulnerable, and which is I always find surprising with the Vulnerable because we still know so little about him. You know,
We're gonna keep it that way.
No, we're gonna break that open. Me and Sean are gonna tag team. We're gonna break that out, get some of that out because I love Invulnerable. I think he's cool. I love Wes. I love Steph. I love all of them, and I think there's one of the things that made this book successful. Regardless of what the story is, these 3 characters are interacting in it, and that's what I gravitate towards. Their friendship, their love, their hates, how they go off each other. There's something somebody, anybody, everybody can adapt to one of these characters in some way and follow along with the story.
Yeah, I try to make a relatable thread, it's even small moments, it's just like going to your friend's house. Like I try to expand those moments. It's like, this is how it feels to go to your friend's house and how you talk to your best friend. It's just these small things that I think you can relate to that many other comics don't have time to do because they're so worried about, oh, well, this is the big villain they need to do. This is the big event. Like Violet Daughter's different. It's like we take the time to show, here's an issue. Oh, we could say in issue 5, there's a cool scene where Casey just like visits her friends.
Yeah.
and it's a really expanded moment, but it's so much fun. You'll learn a lot about those characters because she does it.
I had so much fun drawing that, I have to say. I know Kat had so much fun writing it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because we were going back and forth. Almost every panel had to be like this and that. And it was just so much. I wish it was a couple more pages longer. We really could have added more to it.
Oh, for sure.
I really love that part. Also, I think from the webcomic, bringing that back from earlier, when you talked about the interview, for me, it was the sleepover. I thought was really awesome.
Sleepover was a lot of fun. And you get to see all their personalities, I feel. If you read the sleepover story, it's Stephanie's room, and it's Casey and Wes just, like, hanging out. Stephanie playing the guitar. She's like, I'm going to go get some snacks so we can watch a movie. And then it's Wes and Casey who have this really heart-to-heart moment about you really get into Casey's head of, like, why she doesn't want to be a superhero. And Wes, like, understanding it. Like, he geeks out. And he's like, yo, I'm so sorry about that. Like, I understand where you're coming from now.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's not from issue 5. That's from the sleepover.
It's not, it's from the sleepover.
Yeah, that's not from issue 5. Issue 5 is a different type of scene. So
I do want to say to those who out there who like the webcomic, I really do want to get back and finish a Halloween story.
Well, you're trying to get there.
I'm trying to. It's
let's say, Wayne,
getting there.
One thing I will say, it's a lot more, it's a little less PG than our other stories, but there's a reason why. The ending will explain it. So that's one thing. I'm trying to write with Wayne. That way it's like not, I'm trying to tone it a little bit down so it's not like so juxtaposed.
I'm not a PC. I'm not a PG person. I'm R-rated. I have been Friday the 13th, Halloween. You name that holiday for me has always been R-rated. Tight girls in bikinis being hacked with the. That was what Halloween is.
That is the Halloween special, and there's also stuff revealed about our characters a little bit.
Yes.
But I'm trying to tone it down for you viewers that are more used to the tone of the regular comics. That's what we're working on now. And also there's other projects we're working on with Like Violet Daughter, which is why it's, taking a little time. But when we do have free time, we'll try working on it again because it is fun, the webcomic. So yes, those stuff that I was talking about with Wesley Casey and all that, that's from the sleepover. You can read it. But it did inspire scenes for issue 5 that we can't talk about because those will be spoiler. The only scene I'll talk about, and so small, is Casey throwing a rock at Wes's window is one of my favorite parts. It has to do with their superpowers too, and it's Stephanie's look, which I think we actually showed a little page of already. So Stephanie has an interesting look for those scenes.
Kat, I'm not sure you've seen it, but you said there's 2 names, Jesse and Scotty. Scotty also said that Justin said that he backed.
Oh, I meant Justin. I meant Justin. Okay. So Justin and Scotty were the I must have said Jesse by accident, but it was Justin and Scotty who backed it.
I just want to say that because I was reading it up. But I have a question since you guys start talking about issue number 5.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the real star of Like Father, Like Daughter. Skipper, the dolphin.
We do have Skipper in every issue.
I love that. When Kat showed me that picture, I said, yes, Skipper!
Yeah.
We have a Discord, and I was like going nuts on Skipper. I was like, yes, Skipper's there.
And that came out of the Q&A. We named him. So
we had a lot of fun naming him.
Yeah.
We had a whole lot of fun. That was a great Q&A where we just had so much fun naming him.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. So one thing we tried doing is I think Wayne randomly had this dolphin poster, and we just kept talking about it. So now every issue we have to have the dolphin. Yeah, so when I was writing the script.
It was a poster at the school.
Yeah.
It was a poster at the school. So when I was writing the script for this one, Stephanie had to throw something. And I was just like, let it be a dolphin stuffed animal. Yeah. And then I liked the sound effect that Wayne added. I didn't add that into the script.
I loved it. I loved drawing that. That was so fun. I love drawing Skipper anytime you want. He's just cool as hell.
I love
you know what? Maybe we'll do like a maybe we'll do like a 3-page special for it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see
Skipper issue.
A Skipper webcomic. That's what we need. a whole arc of webcomic just for Skipper.
No, not a whole arc.
Yeah, not a whole arc.
Well, you know, a whole arc on the webcomic can only be like, you know,
Maybe the webcomic. Maybe like
that's what I mean.
Maybe the webcomic. We could do something like that for the webcomic, totally.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The webcomic.
we find out that Wes is a mascot for Skipper.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what we find out. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, we did talk about that. I
Yeah, we
remember
did.
a long time ago.
Put Casey in it because no one would expect the.
You're
No
never
way.
gonna get Casey into a Skipper.
Not gonna
costume.
happen.
That's
Yeah.
what's funny. Like Wes gets sick
He's
and
gotta lose a bet. Yeah, maybe you should do it if Wes gets sick, because Wes is like, come on, Casey, no one can find out.
Yeah.
Grouch be Skipper.
Yeah, and she has fun with it. That will be the story. We'll see. That could be fun. That could be a fun one. We'll see.
That could be her little secret. Everybody thinks she's the.
Nah, she does it for
mean
one
girl,
day.
and then she's really this school spirit person.
Yeah, I think with Casey, they don't think she's the mean girl, but she's definitely, again, the resting bitch.
She's got
face.
two.
No, here you go. Here's the idea for it. We'll have Wes in the costume at a homecoming game. The other team kidnaps him, like the kidnapping the team mascot.
That's fun.
And Casey has to come to the rescue.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, man, we're doing that. That's the next webcomic after we finish the Halloween one in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we have another question. Let me see. The Real Mano says, are there any hints you can give us about Invulnerable's appearance in Stealth #2? So I know Kat's going to say I have to ask Sean.
Well, I don't write the comics, so I really can't.
No, go ahead.
But the only way you're going to find out anything is to back that Kickstarter.
Yep. And I'll say this. It's not a guarantee Invulnerable's in issue #2.
It's being written out.
Not a guarantee. Not a guarantee. So, but, you know, it was a good cliffhanger for issue #1.
Yeah.
Although Sean, we can guarantee that he will be making an appearance in issue #5 of Like Father, Like Daughter.
Oh, yeah. We could guarantee that. Yeah. So if you want to check out issue 5.
Right.
We could talk about that. Yeah, there's some cool characters.
And he makes an appearance in the trade several times. So
he does.
He's in something.
He does.
Want to back that up?
Rumors that he's on the cover of it.
Whoa, is he? I didn't even notice that.
But we have another question for Kat. Can you share one interaction with a fan? This is from Scotty that enjoyed Like Father, Like Daughter that really stood out to you.
I think the returning customers, like people that just like come back and say, I love this book. And it's just like, there's other times where people say, oh, you know, I relate to this character a lot because my dad left me, or, you know, left and I relate to her a lot. So that was really important to me. Again, the dads relating to Invulnerable has been really surprising and heartwarming. And a shout out I hope I could give is, you know, we actually had one fan who I met through the Comic-Cons, and the reason why this Kickstarter is not $4,000 is because he invested money into our book. So that was a big standout. Somebody who loved the story so much that they would help support this book in the back end was really cool. Special. So.
What I like to see is when you post pictures from Comic-Cons and all, when you had the young girls come up to you and cosplay, and they're holding like 4 issues of the book that they got, you know, like they bought all 4 issues. Those are some really nice pictures. Like when I see that, I smile, and I'm glad about that for you. I'm glad about that. It's good for, you know, to get younger people into it, especially younger girls into the comics, because that's a market that, you know, most, you know, people don't think exists, but they do exist. There are young females who like comic books, and glad they have a voice in the comic.
Yeah, I'm glad Sean added those to the Kickstarter. Yeah, it's so awesome to see that. Also, say having, you know, writers I look up to recognize the book and back up the book. You know, that's been really cool too. So I won't name drop, but it's been cool to have a lot of writers that I really look up to, you know,
name
just
drop,
pick it
name
up.
Name drop. Drop a name. Just one name.
I'll name drop, I guess, a couple of people, but Scott Lobdell has bought the book. Tom DeFalco, which has been like amazing.
How the Falcons bought a couple.
Yeah, he's supported all my books, which is really cool. And Brian Q. Miller shared it on Twitter. I didn't ask; he just shared, and I'm a huge Stephanie Brown fan. And he wrote Smallville as well, so that's been really cool. Those are a big. You know, who also bought the book is actually Gail Simone's husband bought the book. So
I was gonna say Gail Simone because I remember she tweeted about it too.
Yeah, so there's been some really cool people I've supported and that I look up to. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you for those names. Big drops.
No problem.
Scotty has an animation question, and it says, I gotta keep throwing this idea out there. Many of us got hooked on comic books through animation. How realistic at this point is a 2-minute internet animated short for like Follow Like Daughter?
That's got to go to Sean too.
So I was like, she's just throwing me all these hard questions.
I don't have these answers.
We've considered doing some animation work. We actually have several animators on our team. Here's the thing. And this kind of what makes it boils down to everything is that stuff is expensive, and there's not a huge return on it. So, you know, and just to throw some numbers out, because as Mike Watson always calls me, I'm Sean by the numbers Mac. I'll say this: for 10 seconds worth of animation, you're looking at about $500 to $600 just for 10 seconds. Now, Scotty is saying 2-minute animation. So, you know,
back up this Kickstarter.
Right. If we start having Kickstarters that do, I'm not gonna say that because the more money we get, I'll say put out more books first and foremost.
I was gonna say I don't even want to say my goal, but
go ahead, say it.
My goal for this Kickstarter, we could, and this is not even money, but backer wise, I want over 200. That's my goal. We'll see if we make it, but that's like my personal goal I really want to make. I don't know if we'll make it, but that's just a personal goal. Let Catherine's personal goal be succeeded. Spread the word.
Here's how everybody can make Kat's personal goal come true. Back to Kickstarter yourself, then share it on your social media, which is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever social media you are on and you post on. Share the link to it for people and tell them that they should back it too, why they should back it, and help the goal come true.
Please do. That's been my personal goal. I've not revealed. So I a really nice comment from Justin, who also is part of Short Views. He writes Red Knight. Like Father Daughter was meaningful to me not long before the comic debuted. I met my natural father for the first time. A lot of the character interactions that felt really real. Thank you. Again, that's so, well, first of all, like so meaningful. And also, again, as someone who hasn't went through that experience, I'm really happy that I could do a good portrayal. And that's really important to me as a writer. So I really appreciate that. And obviously just hearing that story that it was able to, help you in any way or, just feel real to you, that's important to me.
Hi, Justin.
Sean by the numbers Mac right here. So I think we have time.
We'll say hi to everybody.
Should. I think we have time for like 2 more questions.
All right. So I don't think we have any more questions in the comments. So if anybody wants to ask any more questions, send them in on the live chat and we'll read them off. But I have one for you and Wayne, Kat. You guys talked about how you've been coming more closer in your collaboration with it. How much does it help the other person to have that collaboration? So Kat with the writing and Wayne with your art, how much does it help being, that much in contact with each other and bouncing the ideas off of each other?
I mean, writing perspective, a lot. Like I said, scenes have changed because of our interaction, but also I know Wayne's style, so I know like how things are going to come out. So that's kind of cool. And then I find I think Wayne's very good at comedy. So like I find more comedic things through Wayne's artwork and through Wayne's influence. I think there's been more jokes because of it. And I'm a jokey person too, but a lot of times with Like Holly Daughter, it's harder to put through the jokes because it's a really serious book. So it's cool to find that levity issue by issue.
Yeah, I thank you for the comedy, Bad Luck. Thank you. I love that. It's for me, it really gives me a lot more of a direction. Like if I'm directing this, gives me a lot better aim of where I'm going. Because a lot of times when I get a script, it's just like a wide open field. I really try to have to find a way to narrow it down to what to draw and how to tell the story. When I'm talking ideas off Cat, it narrows that view to we're both on the same path. You know, and I'm not way over here because I think it's over there. And she's like, no, come over. I need you over. We really are on the same path. It's like we're going right in the same direction at the same time. So when I get her script and we're going back and forth, we're both at the same goal. We know where we're going and how to get there. And I can bounce those ideas that she's given me out quicker when I have the time. But it's awesome because, and I really love it because I get like a voice in it rather than just draw stick figure and kind of thing. I really get more into the character when I get the voice, what I think and what I hear. And granted, let me tell you, like 90% is just like, oh no, we can't do that. Crazy. And I'm like, I know we can't do it, but I still see it. So, but that, like I said, that's one thing about collaborating with Kat. Those things lead to other ideas that are, that really is in issue number 5 when we get to it, and probably going to be in issue 6 and 7 and whatever else after, because, you know, she gives me the idea, I look at it, I get an idea, I'm bouncing stuff off her, and then we got a new idea going off from that, you know, and or she's got an idea, can you draw it like this? And I'm like, well, what if we did that, and bouncing off that way as well. So it's great. I think that's really what made Marvel what it was with Stan and Jack, is they had that collaboration. Yeah. And I think that's what's making us make this book.
And we usually call each other Stanley and Jack.
Yeah, we have, literally. So. Yeah. And, you know, except I call her Stan.
Excelsior! A lot.
We should.
Yes, definitely.
That should pop up just in the background of a comic. Like Wes should just say Excelsior.
I mean, I'm sure I don't know if that'd be copyrighted or not, but I could if.
It's a word. You can't copyright a word.
Wait, isn't it the motto of State of New York or something like that?
No, just him.
You sure?
I think so.
It's just a Stan Lee thing. He said.
As a New Yorker, I haven't heard it.
But here's a really cool question that I just thought of that we've never asked before on this.
Whoa,
which is weird because I think I've asked like every single question that could be asked.
Yeah.
But Like Father, Like Daughter is a superhero comic book.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How would you do it if it was in a different genre?
Oh, man.
So
name a genre, I guess.
No, your genre. Like if you had to pitch another genre for it, it couldn't be a superhero. So
probably a horror book.
The same situation would happen where Invulnerable left the family for to protect
I think Invulnerable will be like a freaking slasher villain, and then
and he left his family so he didn't kill them.
To kill people, but not them.
It has a dark side. I keep telling you people this. Yeah. She has a dark side.
I think he would be like, I want to protect my family from all the other slashers, but I'm gonna go off and kill people and kill more slashers. I think he'd be like the slasher for slashers. Like
so then would Casey grow up and become a slasher too?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's her story.
The genre, the story has to stay the same. He's not a superhero.
Yeah, Casey's like, she's got these instincts to kill people, but she doesn't want to.
She has these flashes instead of the visions, with flashes that show her people that she has to kill.
Yeah, psychotic flashes. That's it.
Oh my God.
Why do I have the urge to kill my best friend? I don't know.
It has a dark side. I keep telling you people this.
I just see like now a pile of dead bodies somewhere thanks to this idea there in that.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. This is in.
That's why Invulnerable has no furniture in his place, because it's just all full of dead people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He just has to keep room for the dead people.
It's just garbage bags for all the missing pieces he rips off and throws in.
I don't know. He keeps getting away with it.
Now it does sound like Invulnerable. I see like that Invulnerable.
I don't know if you could top that, Wayne.
Yeah, that's I don't know how to do that. If I had to change genres, how did I think it would turn out? I'll go with romantic comedy.
I feel like it's already it could be romantic superhero, but romantic comedy. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like Sleepless in Seattle or something. Only it'd be Wes and Steph, or no, Wes and Casey. Sorry, I know you guys are out there. We love those two together, but okay, we'll do that. And there's the whole romantic thing, and then there's Tom Hanks somewhere. He'd be Mr. Invulnerable.
Tom Hanks is invulnerable. For
yes,
sure.
we'll make Tom Hanks invulnerable. That's perfect. And
I think it's like previously Tom Hanks's character like had this romance. He had this whole story, and this is the sequel, so it's his kid.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, well, when I was a kid.
And we'll make it Disney-like, so the mom and Invulnerable will get back together.
Oh, it's Parent Trap, exactly.
Yes,
yeah.
that would be what happens.
As Casey finds her own love.
So yeah, out of that too, I think a lot of people probably would have thought Kat would have picked the rom-com.
Right?
Because Wayne said how much he loves Halloween and all the gore and the slasher film, they probably would. And Wayne's like, "Whoa, Kat!"
I was not expecting that. It really was not.
I know. I mean, I had to go for it. I will say I feel bad for Jesse, who was Casey's current boyfriend, who we just totally ignored. They're still together. They haven't broken up yet. Just saying.
It's happening. I hate her boyfriend.
They're still together.
She low-key dumped him. She low-key dumped him.
I will say, Jay, there might be something reference in future their relationship.
I just want to have, I just want to have Invulnerable show up and just like crush a street car. Just like, don't mess with my little girl. I don't like him. I don't like him. I never liked him. He's like one of my least favorite characters.
Well, that's the point. But maybe you'll end up liking him. Just like every other character you're supposed to hate and then you like. So I'll say there's more story for Jesse to come.
I'll tell you, when they graduate high school, he's going to say, are we still together?
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, I dumped you back in 9th grade, kid.
Yeah.
You just didn't know it.
Yeah. Oh, man. That Casey is brutal.
He's going to go to her house on prom night. And she's
like, we're going out, right? We're going out for proms. Like,
who said we're going out still? I broke up with you before.
I broke up with you when you beat up Ethan. That's what happened. So, but no, I won't. It won't be a plot hole. That will be referenced somewhere. So don't worry. It won't be like now, but it's going to be a reference about that relationship. If you guys are the Jesse Casey shippers, I hope you're not. You'll get your answer. Maybe you'll become a Jesse and Casey shipper. We'll see. But
Scotty says, and if the day comes when the animation Kickstarter comes, I'll do what I can to get that out for sure. Get the word out for sure.
Thank you.
That would be something else. And he has a final question.
All right.
How has the Follow Like Daughter experience benefited you personally? Good luck in the future, guys. So both of you.
I mean, meeting everybody, working with Sean, working with Wayne. That's my answer.
How about you, Wayne?
Oh man, it's so much. I love working with Kat over here, calling you Casey here from everybody talking.
I almost called you Wes.
I know. What's going on? But no, working with Kat has really been a highlight of the whole thing. Building this whole thing up. It's just been an awesome ride for me. I love it. I love drawing it. I love being a part of it. For me, I've really, most of my past projects that I've worked with, other things, it's always just been done, in and out, not really long term. I like it because it's feeling like it's a really great relationship going on as writing and art. And I'm so excited to see what we're going to do with it next. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm excited. There you go. I think that was the last question, right?
Yeah. So just once again, Kat, tell us about the Kickstarter, where people can find it. And I just posted the link again for the Facebook contest if you want to check that out.
And for this contest, actually what I'll do, because both Scotty and Justin, instead of just having the two, I'll split the digital awards. So I'll give some to Justin, I'll give some to Scotty. through Discord. I believe they're both on Discord.
Yeah,
so
they're both on Discord.
Yeah, so after this or tomorrow, I'll give you guys the codes. So yes, the event page, definitely go check that out. But like Sean was talking about before, go check out the event page. That way you could actually learn what it's about without us giving you like a 2-minute explanation again. But it's a really cool contest where you can win a lot of comics from us. So go get that. And all you have to do is, follow directions. I don't want to say something wrong. And then, right, I say, hey, all you have to do is this, and then I completely butchered it. Also,
I posted the link to the events page, and I posted the Kickstarter page. So they're both in the comment in the chat right now.
Thank you. And yeah, so the comic book, we talked about what it's about, but go check out the Kickstarter. That we get to those stretch goals, and Sean doesn't have to keep them quiet anymore. That's my goal. And please spread the word about the book. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It just shows how much fun we all have with this book. And we'll probably do another Q&A. I don't know if we'll do it weekly, but that's what we were doing last time. They were a lot last time, so maybe we'll do it. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But whenever you want, it would probably be on Comic Frontline next time. That way we could like spread the love. I'll do a lot of like Facebook Live stuff still, so you can check that stuff out. And we'll announce the next Q&A. And hopefully Sean and Wayne could make an Alex Ramel if he wants to come on too next time. So that was it. Thank you guys for watching, and back up the Kickstarter. Thanks, guys. And thank you, Jay, for helping us moderate and being an awesome moderator as always.
Thank you, Jay.
Always fun.
All right. Bye, guys.